How's it going, everybody? John, this is big. This is a big chapter of John, as John 10 was, as John 6 was. If you don't read anything else in the entire Word of God, read John 1, verses 1 through 14. Read John 6. Read John 10. Read John 15. All right. And on the playlist, you can just go find those. Go to TS Daily Bible Studies, click playlist. By the way, we've got, you would hit John, that's at 59 videos. All right, we're going to, and you would hit the first and second on the playlist, and then you just scroll and you go to John 6. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John 6 has over 65 verses. It's an important read. And then you go to John 10 on the playlist, which would be number 39, 40, 41, 42. Why does that say -36? I got to go fix that. That would be 1036. It would be John 10, 25 through 36, not :6, because the next day is John 10, 37. So glad I caught that. And then you would scroll to 15. Anyway, let me fix that real quick while it's on my mind, or I'll forget. By the way, as I get here, you see the 15 views, 20 views, 16 views, and then 8, and then 12. I get 35 views for the two witnesses. That was a good one. I got 20. Well, the 20 views is for the Barbie and Exorcist. But okay, 12 views, 6 views, 9 views, 7 views, 17 views, 15 views. So it fluctuates. Anyway, if you're here, and you are here because you're here, I'm glad you're here. Don't ever hesitate to give me a shout in the comments. Love to hear from you. See, come down, change it, take away the colon, click save. Yay, we're just good to go. All right. So Jesus is saying, verse 5, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, it's not a free will decision. This is just telling a story, or understand it as instruction. Doesn't mean that you have free will to be the branches. He that abideth in me, which are his sheep, that he knew from before the foundation of the world, Ephesians 1, 4, and 5, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. You don't do that on your own. The Lord will bust you up. Hebrews 12, 6 through 8, he will lock you down and beat you, chasten and scourgeth. Every single sheep gets the beat down. You get the world beaten out of you. And it's the world that does the beating. Just like Jesus got put on the cross, and the way we understand it, it's not written in the word per se, that all 12 of the apostles, or 11 of the 12, were also murdered. And we know what Rome did to the Christians, where today the obelisk faces the dome in the city-state. It begins with a VAT. just like the obelisk faces the dome at another city state, Washington, D.C. That's Mystery Babylon. The other city state, you got a religious center, a military center. That's Los Estados Unidos. And then you have a banking center at another city state called City of London, which is a city state, just as the one in Rome sits inside of Rome with a guy called the POPE. The city of Rome sits inside, the city of London sits inside of London, England. And they show you in a lot of movies with the bullet, because we think that's what will hit the Antichrist. City of London, Skyview. So if you were to look at the city of London, it sits inside of London, England, and there's the bullet. Right there. They got ALAMY, because it's copyrighted. The photo is. But you see the bullet building. Interesting. Is that what hits the right eye of the Antichrist? So they glorify that? We would imagine so. Our imagination runs wild, doesn't it? If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. They're not tormented day and night forever and ever. This is just the Lord speaking about judgment. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Now, all throughout this, it's going to sound like God's a magic genie, and whatever his sheep ask him, they will get him. Can I have a new car? Can I have a new boat? Can I have this job? Can I have that job? Can I have that woman? Can I have that man? No, that's not what it's talking about. When you pray, you're bowing to the will of the Lord. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, is how Jesus taught us how to pray. And then when Jesus prayed, he said, not my will, Father, your will be done. So as you read, as we go through, just understand that as everything sounds to the ear and tickles our ears, it's not exactly what it's saying and what it means. That's why we go through everything verse by verse, which my third book now is going to be the book of Revelation in order, verse by verse. I just got the copyright today for the first book concerning election predestination, no free will decisions, the sovereignty of God. The second book I signed in at .gov yesterday to get its copyright. And let's see if I go back to work on the 9th. Let's see if I can get it. I would have to do 2 chapters a day to get it done by the end of summer. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So when sheep get the world beaten out of them and they start their repenting and turning, where they become salt and they become light and they become enemies of the world. Friendship with the world is hatred to God. That's James 4:4. James 4:4, Bible Gateway, King James Version. Oh, so funny. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity to God? Whosoever therefore be a friend of the world is an enemy to God. So that's when you start bearing fruit. That's what this is all about. You don't bear fruit when you're friends with the world and you're celebrating pagan holidays like Christmas and walking around talking about free will decisions. You're an enemy to God with false doctrine or being a friend to the world. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. And see, that's we are God's glory when we are beat down from the world. We are exalted in exactly as Christ bared on the cross. We're living that daily. It's called the daily cross. That's when you're Christ crucified every day. Jesus dying on the cross, which was God in the flesh, dying on the cross, was God's glory and glorified for his sheep. He didn't do it to do it. It was done for the bride. And then the bride, well, then the sheep do it. And then after their death on the earth, they become the bride to the bridegroom. As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. Sounds like a free will decision has to be made. Nope. It's just instruction / telling you a story. If you keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. Instruction. Commandments. Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. That's sheep loving sheep. That's not you loving a Far Eastern religion person. I love you, man. I know you're in another religion, but man, I'm supposed to love you, and I love you, man. It's not what it's talking about. This is the church supporting each other through their tribulation. Acts 14:22, my phone number says we all through much tribulation enter the kingdom. That's much beatings from the world at the behest of the Lord as he ordained it. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Sheep to sheep. Ye are my friends. Is he talking to the whole world, or is he talking to his church? If ye do whatsoever I command you, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Let's get on to Revelation. We are now at 18, verses 1 through 7. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. It's interesting. When I write this book verse by verse, I'm going to have to break all of this down. It's going to be very interesting. For all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. This is the divine feminine spirit that runs Mystery Babylon. That's what they're all about. They're all about her. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, which is Satan, shape-shifting to the female goddess. That's how he appears to those that love Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Gaia, Queen of Heaven, Queen of the Universe. He is a she, which explains what's been ramping up on the earth the last 2, 3, 4 years. And the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, and they will. Mainly at the abomination of desolation, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works in the cup which she hath fulfilled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Now I'm going to do this with y'all. I sit a queen and am no widow. I'm going to put this into a search, and I'm going to click images. And see if it shows what I'm thinking. It did not. Queen Elizabeth sitting alone at her husband's funeral. So when you blow this up, when she sat over here on the left all by herself, that was what that was all about. It's not as if the family couldn't have got tested for the illness and then sat with her. It was ridiculous. Everything they do is all about symbolism. The photo ops, all of that, that was, I sit a queen and am no widow. That's what all that was about. Believe it or not. I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Because what was she? She was a widow. But she's saying, no, I'm not. And that's it for today. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.